on Holuko Digest and Sekondi TV. Before that, it will be appropriate to invite the presence of God in our midst. We shall have Miss Betty Jesse to give us the opening prayer.
Please, shall we rise? In the name of the Father, our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for a moment like this. We appreciate you for everything you've done for us. We invite you, dear Lord, to come and be in our midst. We commit our gathering into your care. The Father, you take control of everything. And at the end, your name will be praised. This and many other things we ask through Christ your Son. Amen. In the name of the Father.
Thank you very much, Miss Betty Jesse. Presiding over our gathering, that is the chair, we have our very own Vice Principal, Mrs. Winifred Ansa Hughes. Let us give it up for her. For most of us, this is our first time of hearing about International Women's Day celebration. So for this purpose, we shall have an overview of the International Women's Day celebration. And our Vice Principal will walk us through. With a round of applause, let's welcome Mrs. Winifred Ansa Hughes.
Action. 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 Good morning to you all. How are you? Have you eaten this morning? Oh. Are you sure? You eat very soon. Today is International Women's Day. Before I tell you or I give you the overview, you see, women are very important. True or false? We are unique. God took time to create us. And the men are envious of us. Tell the person sitting next to you that I am proud to be a woman. Say it again. The men say they are the head. That is what they are saying. But you see, we have to tell the women, or we have to make them aware that without the neck, the head is nothing. So without women, men are nothing. When mothers travel and leave their home for the men for just 1 week, what happens? They are always disorganized unless we are around. That is a woman. Thank God you are a woman. International Women's Day. It is a global celebration held annually on 8th March to recognize the achievements of women around the world. These achievements include political, social, economic, and cultural successes women have made. The day also serves as a call to action to accelerate gender equality. The first National Women's Day was observed in the United States in 1909, and it's quickly gained momentum internationally. In 1911, International Women's Day was marked for the first time in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland, with over 1 million people participating in rallies and events to advocate for women's rights. Today, International Women's Day is celebrated in various ways across the globe. Many countries recognize it as an official holiday, while others commemorate the day with events, seminars, conferences, and marches. These events often focus on a wide range of issues affecting women, including gender-based violence, reproductive rights, equal pay, access to education and health care, and women's representation in leadership. Each year, International Women's Day has a specific theme designated by the United Nations. These themes reflect current global issues and challenges facing women and girls. Past themes may have included gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow, women in leadership, achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world, and equality for women is progress for all. International Women's Day serves as a reminder for the progress made towards gender equality, while acknowledging the work that still needs to be done. It is a time to celebrate the achievements of women and girls worldwide, and also to recommit to the ongoing struggle for gender parity and social justice. Today, Holy Child College of Education, we are using the day to highlight the achievements of women from all walks of life and their significant contribution to society. We are also reminding ourselves of our commitment to creating an enabling environment for society to thrive. Thus, the call to all to make this a reality. And the theme for today's celebration is Inspire Inclusion. We have invited somebody, a noble woman, to give us a talk on that. And I hope you keep quiet. You will be very, very attentive to listen to what she will have for us all. I entreat that we all participate in whatever we are doing here today, so that at the end of the day, you'll be the real woman that you want to be in future. Thank you.
Let's do it better for our Vice Principal. What is this year's theme? I can't hear you. Very good. Give it up for yourselves. This year's theme is Inspire Inclusion, and the Holy Co-production has a short sketch on that for us, on the theme. We have our drama group to do a very short sketch on the theme for us. So let us sit patiently and then enjoy ourselves.
Many driver kwekun cancer. Me fa passenger for free makase kosi beposo anopa biara. And now manopa ka echi enti. Ma passenger dodo na ye ejedi forma. Na be na ejedi forma so dia omo kasa. Nenso eto da omo kasa dodo na aboa ma oman ni mpunso ni oman ni nkoso. Enti my driver ni die me ni anu ye bia ebi se aboa ma oman ni koso. Die kumi mpo ni se wotena ase a pe na omo kasa. Enti mu ma yenya so na yenti o.
Wafrem mamena motonu brew e wo be pauso motonu mu brew no medema ankrankor na chobafo sado ye ni bokwa ejuma na so benye edibaneza ofimu brew a oboto na wode bonu edibana aman ankrankor ete ha sebe kawetu bi wo fia ofimu brew a eboto na edibanua school feed na waye mamoframan ofimu brew wato no wode ye edibana ma ye ne mofrome mo wanya apomudin eyi ina me ye mede boa me man Ghana mede ase bafla me mami ama amenua me tone beda ne ba na wogwanu se ebenya konde wali a ovi me beda na me bana se ebenya akposi wali wosuo no a ovi me beda na me bana bendo emu ka ngomba bendo ali oti se ebali kokonte wosuo na ovi me bede se ebenya konde wali wosuo na ovi me beda na me bana se ebali choba wosuo azo ovi me beda na me bana edi me beda na me bana enya ho se be efe kojima madam no kumbe dia mam yam fambo amane na me yebemu
Eboyo ekuafo na ye warwan ai moko banche brode hina ofiye no ho ya no wa besen me yenkodo mezinara ne koku ahenkan me yokuyeni oye ame na mokwa ha benim na mokodo na mudia na obade yankopon atonso pegudo na wetim waye diban na metu matsew na me de abre bedwafo na wato na amanyen se yebedidi a ofime eku adwumen se yam principal bedidi na wan apomidi ne pa ofime eku adwumen samanko amba obi anu obenya biedi oya minti na yetna ha fefefe wi dan ni mmor eye yedi mmor koko na onye bibia yedi bia ofiri maram ho samanko amba ye ndidi amosume adwuma me ya mede boa manga na ni meda wana asi
Mede boatma nipa bebre from a course Sauba Holy Child ai me pam niama ofija asie ho ya me pam enkwada impenifo emba ne mberima niama nina to weni hwe Holy Child we mu hwe wonua ote wonchen ayamia na me pam tere ma students bia ai wensi na me so me ye ede boa o mani pumto me dance
I am Salmas, a lecturer at Takoradi Technical University. My profession as a teacher trains the doctor, the nurses, the judges, the journalists, as well as a teacher to help in the nation's development. Our profession can boast, but the teacher taught them all. Thank you.
I'm Nejane Abeka, a senior midwife at Sekondi-Takoradi Hospital. I provide support, care, and assistance to patients in need. I also educate women and couples about family planning and reproductive health. I educate people and encourage people to ask questions and clarify any doubt they have concerning nursing and health care. Almost all of you here came to this earth with my assistance. The health of the citizen is my responsibility. This is what I also do to contribute to the development of the country. Thank you.
Business Antudora. Mobotiri wo efie kuma. Mobotiri wo mbiambia ahuru bebre. Mobo esukufu wonitu. Teacher ni bobo nitila ofimara. Nurse ni bobo nitila ofimara. Empo atotonu fumpo bobo wonitila ofimara mijinai. Nti wada meka che wonde enye diba no kwati ne yade bo oman mpuntu. Na emom ekitansa anu juma. Sori na Kenya won na fa ye bibi mo oman. Mijina esisi ameleka sei. Maya wig medical Madam Vero, Holy Child, Malamifia, Moloko Sisia, Medawanasi.
Over Mekia, Moton and Nam, and Puana, Namidia Kuniaba, Messamana, must supply my Holy Child, Fijai, Antaman, Porters, Baby, man, I'm a one and Nam. Memon and a mamon, away, mom money na messamon. I'm a super dame, Madame Bois, man in Punching, Madame Hassan.
kum yagine kwaku anum bebre na mai kan ni nyina aboa ma oman ni mpuntuo ni oman ni nkoso my driver need ye me so de me yeboa ne se me fa on free on fie de won ko adwadwa so ni nyina aboa ma oman ni mpuntuo ni oman ni mposo wo oba ana obere ma wo ha de na wo ya aboa ma oman ni mpuntuo ni oman ni nkoso me da mase.
My name is Christiana Dugby. As you can see, Mami Odende to the children, you can come and purchase me.
I am Sarah Quay, the pure water seller.
Christabel Ousu Ata, plantain chip seller.
I'm Christine Cornelia Opioka Ezan, the student.
I'm Salama Sufia Donu, the lecturer.
I'm Patricia to the Momo vendor.
I'm Christina Amma, the farmer.
Farid, the fishmonger. Jane Abeka, the nurse.
What's my the seamstress, aka Cosa?
Gloria Quasin, the hairdresser, aka Mama Do.
Linda Bauer, the charcoal seller. George Nofori, the cassava trader.
Rebecca Nyako, the second mate.
A few great people too, professional mates are dry wedding.
Driver Marco Pet and Casa Sarah. Inspire.
Efion Kumanchavan. We can do better for our drama group. Holiko Production. To join our group, you pick a form and then you come for audition. Yes. Up next, we have a poetry recital. And the composition she's coming to give here is by herself. She wrote her own poem. Let us invite Miss Louisa Aqua, also known as Miss President.
She rose. In a realm of downpour, a new fervor emerges. She navigates through difficulties, surmount challenges, breaks through barriers to ensure her voice resounds for decades. Embracing the struggles, she is embodied with self-empowerment, a magnificent tapestry of power, blossoming with beauty, imbued with a zeal to protect a narrative. Each of her words narrates a graceful tale yet to be untold. Free from societal constraints, she embarks on a conquest, a great symphony of power and resilience, paving the way for you and I to follow. Her allure is ignited with wisdom, delicate yet formidable. Defying all odds, united in vision, and she boldly proclaims her mission. No gender should face unjust binds, for all are free to thrive, no woman left behind. Unshackled from gender norms, we set forth. Resilient minds breaking through barriers like program-like feminists. Through the struggles, we resonate. She rose, we resonate. She rose, we persevere. In a world brimming with opportunities, we transcend naivety, honoring the legacies of the many women that paved the path for us. embracing the very essence of their being, leaving no woman behind. Inspire inclusion. The farmer her share, the fisherwoman her portion, the single mother's contribution very significant, the doctor, the lawyer, the teacher, the principal, all contribution towards the development of this country. Our pursuit actualized, not remembered by our works, but by our words. Adding our quota to the development. Sheroes, we resonate. Sheroes, we persevere. Inspire inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. President. You here, what are you also writing? Sheroes, we resonate. Make sure you also resonate. We have a guest speaker in our midst. We are very blessed this morning. Our guest speaker is a legal practitioner with Khan, Kwashi & Co. in Takoradi, as well as an academic in law with an enviable expertise in the field of commercial law and practice. She is a graduate of the Ghana School of Law. Additionally, she holds a master's degree in land policy and administration, a Bachelor of Laws, and a Bachelor of Education in Social Sciences, all from the University of Cape Coast. She is an epitome of today's woman achiever with an enviable wealth of experience and achievement generated over different stages of her life. From her student leadership roles in Holy Child School through to her university days at the University of Cape Coast. She won many awards during these times, including the award for Best Graduating Student in Commercial Law at the Faculty of Law, University of Cape Coast in the year 2017. She is a believer in a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive, free of bias, stereotype, and discrimination against women. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to present to you our guest speaker, Ms. Amy Bonzi Hansen. Let's give it up for her. We can do better.
Madam Chairperson, members of College Council, the principal, the vice principal, academic board, members of convocation, sisters of the Holy Child Jesus. I'm sure they are with us in spirit. Alumni of the college, students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am always deeply filled with nostalgia whenever I have the opportunity to be with my sisters in my alma mater. I see myself closely associated with Holy Child College of Education, as I am with Holy Child School, Cape Coast, where I had my secondary school education some 20 or so years ago. Seeing you all lovely ladies in your yellow and brown patterned outfits makes me remember my days as a student on Angel's Hill. It is therefore a delightful and humbling moment for me today to be invited as the guest speaker for this year's worldwide celebration of women, the International Women's Day. Madam Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to applaud the strength, fortitude, and resilience of the principal of this great college of education, Dr. Francis Hall Adams, and his abled vice principal, together with the management team who have made a day like this possible in the annals of the college. Principal, your hard work, visionary leadership, resilience, and dedication has made this possible. As the first male to be appointed as principal of this college, you have dared and indeed have done mighty things, and so it wouldn't be out of place to say you deserve commendation and acclamation. Thank you very much, sir, for the invitation. Madam Chairperson, the International Women's Day, which falls on 8th March every year, is a day declared by the United Nations to celebrate women all over the world by acknowledging their role in development of nations as well as their achievements. The Vice Principal, Mrs. Hughes, mentioned this in her opening statement. I believe you heard her. It is also a day to call to action for gender equity. The present call to action, ladies and gentlemen, is for gender equity and no more gender equality. This is because we have come to know that in some circumstances, gender equality can be discriminatory. Do you agree with that? So a typical example of how gender equality can be discriminatory is the washroom situation. So when you enter a male washroom, the settings are different from that of a female washroom. So if we say we want equality, so we want the same settings as the male washroom, you know that would be a challenge for us, and that would be discriminatory to us. And so now we say gender equity and not gender equality. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as far back as 1975, the United Nations convened the first ever global conference on women in Mexico to discuss women's equal rights. Decisions and resolutions at this conference led to the UN declaring the decade of women from the period 1976 to 1985. Since then, a total of 4 global women conferences have been held. The second one in 1980 in Copenhagen, Denmark. The third in Nairobi, Kenya in 1985. And the fourth in Beijing, China in 1995. I believe you have all heard the Beijing conference. So when our male counterparts want to tease us, they will tell you that, oh, you said you have gone to Beijing conference, so you want to do what men can do. But the truth is, we can do what men can do and even more. These conferences brought to the fore the essential contributions of women in the development process and moved the issue of women from just seeking their equal rights to the level of seeking empowerment and therefore participation at all levels of human activity, political, economic, and social. But the history of International Women's Day dates back to the 1900s. The fight, the struggle has been on for a long time. And it isn't an event, it's something that continues. So that also shows why it is important that we observe this day today. Now, the first International Women's Day was celebrated in March 1911, when it was unanimously approved after Clara Zetland proposed the celebration of the day at the International Women's Conference in Copenhagen. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairperson, what started as a day selected by the Socialist Party of America to honor the striking garment workers in New York now has its objectives, having expanded to encompass promoting gender equity, empowering women in social, economic, cultural, and political spheres. So what started this whole International Women's Day celebration was just something that some group of women who were in the garment industry, they were receiving less pay than their male counterparts, although they were both doing the same work. And it will surprise you to know that these challenges still exist now, but not as they were in the past. This year's theme, as designated by the United Nations, is, quote, invest in women, accelerate progress. Invest in women, accelerate progress. The theme focuses on economic disempowerment. Now, the campaign theme for the 2024 International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. So the broader topic for the year 2024 is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, while the campaign theme is Inspire Inclusion. I believe by now we all can strike the Inspire Inclusion campaign pose. Can we do that? Can we do the Inspire Inclusion campaign pose? Okay, do it and let me see. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Yes. So whenever you see that symbol, we do this to inspire inclusion. Now I will devote the remaining part of my speech to discuss the issues surrounding why the need to inspire inclusion, what are the challenges to inclusion, and how can we inspire inclusion. What does it mean to say we are inspiring inclusion? Context here is very important. And so in the context of United Nations, Inspire Inclusion encourages everyone to recognize the unique perspectives and contributions of women from all spheres of life, including but not limited to those from marginalized communities. So we are encouraging everyone to recognize unique perspectives and contributions, unique perspectives and contributions of women from all spheres of life. So simply put, the theme aims to inspire individuals and organizations to understand and value the inclusion of all women in all aspects of life. This can be done in two ways. Firstly, inspiring others to understand and value women's inclusion. So there are two ways we can inspire inclusion. The first is to inspire others to understand and value women's inclusion. And secondly, getting women themselves to be inspired, to be included, to bring a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowerment. So these two ways will help us promote inspiring inclusion, so that while I am here today to encourage you, to inspire inclusion, you have a duty, you yourselves, as women, to inspire inclusion, to aspire to that group. Please, you understand me. I'm doing this with you, so you need to follow me. Because obviously, we cannot fight that we should be included when we ourselves, we do not even value why we should be included. You can't want to be at a place where you yourself, you don't know what you are going to do there. So before we can inspire others, or before others can come and inspire us, we have that initial duty. That burden falls on us to inspire ourselves to want to progress and be part of the debate. To include, or inclusion, means to openly embrace the diversity of race, age, ability, faith, body image, and how women identify. With these definitions in mind, I believe the one question that you'll be thinking about is, why do we need to inspire inclusion? Why do we need to inspire inclusion? After all the world conferences that we have spoken about, Mrs. Hughes talked about the initial day being celebrated internationally in the United States as far back as the 1900s. So why is it that we are still asking to be included? Madam Chairperson, this 2024 theme is apt for the complex yet exciting world we live in now, where women still face challenges, barriers to inclusion, stereotypes, discrimination, and inequity. There is still the need for inclusion in a number of areas, so as to enable women have a better seat at the table. So that is why there is still the need to ask that we are included. You see, we are here as students, but when you go out there in the workplaces, even now, some organizations pay men more salaries than women for the same work done. Is that equitable? Is that fair? Yes, so we need to speak up so that those who are in that system will be liberated, for want of a better word. They will be liberated. And we would not find ourselves in that situation. So it is important that we talk about inclusion and inspiring inclusion. Now at the workplace, we need to inspire inclusion for same work, for same pay and same work done. Same chances to climb the career ladder through career advancement and leadership. There are some positions in some organizations that only men occupy. Here in Ghana and across the globe, some positions are reserved for just men. So we are saying that no, we need to inspire inclusion. That has to stop. I will share my experience with you. I'm a lawyer, as I've been introduced, and we do cases across Ghana. Now, where you have a client who is in, let's say, Kumasi, Asankregwa, Wase Kropon, Accra, Cape Coast, I mean, any part of Ghana, and your client says you have to come because the subject matter of the litigation is in Temale, for example. So you have to go to Temale to institute the action. I'm using some few legal terms because I am inspiring inclusion. I want more of you to come and join me. Oh, you don't want to join me at the bar? You know, my first degree was in education. Yes, so after I did my B.Ed, I decided to go into law. So I am inspiring inclusion. I want more of you to join me. Yes, so we go to Tamale, and I realize that most times when it comes to traveling outside Takoradi, my senior will say, Amy, okay, he will mention my colleague's name. You will go to Accra. Amy Zoebesia, Mempada Mahon. So, and it went on for some time. Well, I didn't really have a problem with that because there were cases I was doing here equally. Now, I had this case at Asankregwa, and when my senior wasn't around when the client came in, so after doing everything for the client, I informed my senior that, oh, we have this new case at Asankregwa, and he was like, hey, Eboko Asankregwa. I said, okay, I will go. Then the time came I had to go to Asankregwa. He asked, are you sure you want to go to Asankregwa? I said, oh, I'll go to Asankregwa. And I didn't just go. Sometimes we rent cars, we have driver's stickers. I drove from Takoradi to Asankregwa. And when my senior came and he heard that I had driven to Asankregwa, he said, oh, so I thought I was doing you good, not knowing that my kind gesture wasn't needed. I was rather suppressing your abilities. So sometimes we are neglected. Sometimes with good intention, in subtle ways, we are put aside because they think, oh, you're a besia. So let's not worry, you're a besia. But that is what brings us down. Because we can also do what the men are doing. Okay? Yes. So when it comes to workplace, we need to inspire inclusion. So there, now he says that, oh, okay, now that I have seen that you yourself, you like adventure, you go everywhere. When Peter goes to Kumasi, you go to Accra. And it's cool, I'm okay. When it comes to education, we need to inspire inclusion in education. Girls, young ladies, women ought to be given the same opportunities as men to develop. And this will bring about proper inclusion and empowerment. There are existing barriers to education such as gender-based violence, economic constraints, and cultural norms that ought to be pulled down. Because we are female, when it is that time of the month, they don't want to see us. But that is us. That is how God created us. That doesn't mean we shouldn't come to class. This is an all-girls institution, but when you go to the mixed schools, you see that because you are in your menses, they want to put you aside. But that isn't what it's supposed to be. So we need to inspire inclusion in the area of education. When we do that, discriminations and violence towards women, such as child marriages, forced child marriages, the trochosis system, female genital mutilation, yes, these things may be said to be a thing of the past, but there are still some remnants in the system which ought to be removed. Women calling their own women witches. So we create camps for them. women Gambaga witch camp. Yes, the state is fighting towards that, but you go there and you see that there are still remnants of that bad practice, which we are saying ought to be removed. Now the list can go on and on and on, and this by no means can be an exhaustive one. In the sphere of politics and leadership, more women need to take the front role in politics for inclusive governance and representation. You know that when we have more women in parliament, spousal bill would not take 20 years in parliament and it wouldn't be passed. Do you know the spousal bill? Oh, are you tired already? No. Yes, so I need the feedback. You don't know about spousal bill. We are inspiring inclusion, so I'll be informing you about these things. So in Ghana, there is a law that is still at Parliament, waiting for it to be passed. I know that you know that it is the Parliament of Ghana that enacts laws. As for that one, I know you know. Now, where a man and a woman, a married couple, they stay together and they acquire properties, and at a point in time, they decide that, okay, we no longer want to be together, so let's split, let's go our ways, let's divorce. After the divorce, how do we share the things that we have acquired together? Okay, so Parliament is supposed to make laws to state that, oh, if this divorce happens, the woman is entitled to this portion, a man is entitled to that portion. In any natural sense, once we are together, we have to have equal shares in them. Or, yes, but sometimes the circumstances of the case can tilt towards a man or the woman. Now, because we do not have many women in Parliament, the parliamentarians are not passing that bill because it will favor, yes. So they wouldn't pass it. The men are there, they will do yeah. But when it comes to spousal property bill, no, they wouldn't pass it. It is still there. So we have to inspire inclusion so that in politics we can be there. And that will be good for inclusive governance and representation. What are the challenges to inclusion? What are the challenges to inclusion? One major challenge to inclusion is resistance to change. We accept things as they are, and we are not ready to change. Oh, as for this, that is how it is done. Oh, as for this, that is, I had the Mawaya Nanyan. We don't want to change. Oh, as for this course, it's not women's course. Oh, this is, hey, this is no. We have to accept change. We have to accept change. Resist it. We should accept the change and not resist it. So that we can inspire. Now, culture and society also serve as a challenge to inclusion. There are a lot of cultural practices. The society thinks that a woman is not supposed to say certain things. A woman cannot express herself in a certain way. Something that a man can say, a woman says the same thing, and she's branded as being insolent. You are rude. Of course, you know that you can make your point in a fair manner without being disrespectful. But that stereotype, once it is a woman, once it's coming from a woman, hey, abana wanu ye din say. Meanwhile, we are all given mouths by God to talk.